Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a beginning of the month for January Tarot Oracle reading. And Capricorn, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign isn't Capricorn, we still all have a little bit of Capricorn in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is it in? That's where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. I've already shuffled and cut the cards. I'm just giving them another quick cut and shuffle, and we'll begin. Be aware that this is a general or collective reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate. If you come across this reading in the future, check back to when it was posted. It may give you some insight. All of my readings are timely, which means that they appear for you at the perfect time. All right, the underlying energy. Whoops, I have my deck upside down. And we have fulfillment. Yay, that's a good way to start the reading off, Capricorn. And we're in the sign of Capricorn. Happy birthday, Capricorn. This energy is talking about fulfillment. It's about fulfillment of everything that you've always thought you wanted in your life. And it's kind of the beginning stages. This is saying you have the castle. You had the down payment, but you still have the mortgage payments to make, that kind of energy. But it is talking about that you're on your destined path, and this card quite often can mean marriage. So maybe you have found the perfect partner for you in your life to move forward with, and you're planning to marry someone. And this energy, or you're already married and it's the perfect partner. This energy is talking about commitment also, so it can be about a commitment to yourself, showing love for yourself, like being committed to unconditional love for yourself. This also can represent a 111 or 1111 portal. It's the universe's way of, it's a portal where you start noticing that, like on the clock, 11:11, it's 1:11, 11:11 again, and you're like, oh, every time I look at the clock, it's 1:11 or 11:11, or you receive a phone call and you look up, oh, it's 1:11. You see a license plate, 11:11, 1:11, an address, 1:11, like that kind of energy. That is the universe's way of using synchronicity to communicate with you, and it's saying that you are really manifesting at a very high level right now. So be careful that you keep your thoughts on what you want, not on what you don't want. Awesome energy to start a reading. Oh, and then we have heartbreak. Well, just hold on. It could be a few things here. So this energy, when you look at this energy, you think, oh, there's, something horrible has happened. There's 3 swords in this heart. Having said that, when you look again, you notice, hey, in context, the heart is actually quite big and the swords are really small. So this can sometimes represent like arrows love, the Cupid's arrows when they go to the heart, especially coming up with this card. It also can mean that your subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind are congruent with your heart's desires, which is going to allow you to have this fulfillment. Your subconscious mind is the thoughts that you've had when you were from the baby to about 6 or 7 years of age, and it's heavily imprinted on you because but at the same time you can't really remember what happened, so you have to rely on other people who are in charge of your care to tell you what you were like. And the unconscious mind would be your spiritual, your soul desires and thoughts, and then we have your will. And your conscious mind is that which you are aware of. So this is the underlying energy for the internal forces. That's what you are in control of. So let's see what this is about. Let's take a look at it. We have another awesome card here, is the 9 of Pentacles. So the 9 of Pentacles is about having the discernment to know what to give and take, when to give and take, how much to give and take. Pentacles represent your health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. And of course, a big part of that is the coin, money, but it's also about abundance in all ways of what you want on the planet Earth. And this is talking about having 6 Pentacles, your hand on 6, and it's a ratio. If you've heard of Nikola Tesla talked a lot about the 369. If you knew the beauty of the 369, you would have the key to the universe. And so this energy is like knowing, she has her hand on 6 of the Pentacles, and she's got 3 to kind of play with. These are ones that she can invest in others or in other projects, but she always makes sure she feeds herself first, so that she is in a position to be able to look after others. If you run dry yourself, you're not going to be able to empower anyone. And this falcon that's on her glove here represents having the foresight to be able to understand this energy, to understand the discernment. And so that energy is talking a lot about your environment, kind of like this card also. So we'll see here. There may have been a situation in the past where you maybe overgave or whatever, and it, it turned out to not be a really good thing for you. We'll see. Okay, so we have 2 ways this card can be read, basically. This is the Page of Cups. And the pages, in the old days, they worked for the king and the queen in the court. And they would start around 7 to 14 years of age. And if they became, if they were really good at delivering the messages and doing the small tasks within the court, when they became 21, then they would be allowed to be put up for knighthood. And they would, if they could afford a horse. So this energy is talking about communication coming in. And the communication in the old days, that it would be by foot and delivered in person. These days, the communication can be from social media. It could be a letter, a phone call, a text. All sorts of different ways that we have to communicate now. This is regarding love or something you love to do or be, and he has his hand on this cup, and in this cup is a fish. And he knows there's plenty of fish in the sea, but his focus is on this cup. So this is something that he loves or wants to love. And on the other end, it can mean there was something fishy about a love relationship, and there's some communication coming in regarding that. Perhaps you were giving too much of your energy to a relationship and not getting as much back. And that's what this is about. So we'll look into it some more here. And then, oh yeah, we have the Death card coming in. This card has been coming in a lot. Sometimes this card scares people, but it rarely means an actual physical death. What it means is transition. And so the king has been trampled. That just, the old way is gone, and now we're going to step into the new. We just had the solstice on the 21st. It's Boxing Day in Canada today, the day after Christmas. I do hope those of you that celebrate Christmas had a wonderful holiday season so far. And Boxing Day in Canada is kind of like Black Friday in the United States. It's when everybody goes out, shops till they drop, and get everything on discount that they paid for way more for before Christmas. So a lot of people in Canada just wait until the day after Christmas to buy their big presents, because a lot of them will be like at a discounted price. But you have to, and it's nowhere near as like battlesome as in the States in the past. But I mean, it's just a day that, sometimes people will give you money, and then you go out and you get something and you'll get it at a discount. So this energy is also talking about rebirth. So the solstice was on the 21st, and that represents the light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what this flag represents. So the solstice is the shortest or the longest night of the year, and then the shortest day after. We had that back on the 21st. So the days are now becoming longer and the nights are becoming shorter, which we all will be looking forward to here, because by 4 o'clock it's dark here. But it's gradually going to go the other way. And so when the Grim Reaper comes through, this older lady, she doesn't really want to look at, I don't want the change. But these youngsters here, the ones trying to give the Grim Reaper a flower. So it's kind of talking about embracing the new and letting go of the old. Perfect energy for moving into the new year, especially this new year. We're moving from one cycle into another cycle. 2025, 2 + 2 + 5 is a 9-year. That's the end of a cycle. So it's, and 2026 is 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10. 10 broken down is 1. And so this is talking, and the ace comes in. So this is why I'm bringing it up. This card's been coming in also. This is a passion for new discovery. So moving from 2025 to 2026 is not just moving from one year to another. This is actually talking about moving the end of a decade-long cycle, basically, and moving into a new decade. So the energy is going to be very different, and it'll be noticeable, and a lot of people are already feeling it. And so this Ace of Wands is a passion for new discovery. It's a gift from the universe. And it's interesting because it's kind of like this could be a new passion coming in after heartbreak. And it's going to be maybe ultimately ending in a decision to want to get married. So let's see. Page is very focused on that fish. This can represent like a first date or, that kind of energy. And then we have the truth. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth coming in. And so this is the energy. So whatever happened here, the page has delivered the truth. And this is coming, it's causing a distinct ending to this energy of you not maybe knowing how much to give or take. This card also represents our environment and making sure that you're in an environment that supports you. So this could be talking about actually making a move to a new environment that supports you. With this passion for new discovery, the truth coming in, and this energy of something that was stopping you maybe from having this ultimate fulfillment. We'll look into it a little bit more here. You have victory. So the victory is coming in. This represents actions taken. This is the element of fire. This represents the Sagittarius season. We just moved into the Capricorn season, and Capricorn, on the 22nd, I believe it was, or maybe it was a little bit sooner. I can't remember when, at this exact moment. It's sometime around 18, 19, 20, 21 energy. When Capricorn moves from Sagittarius, we move into the sign of Capricorn. So Sagittarian energy is all about passion for discovery, and the new moon that was on the 19th or 20th, depending on where you are, right before the solstice, was in Sagittarius, and then it moved into Capricorn. And Capricorn energy is really about, Capricorn is the mountain goat. You have the fish tail, so it's like a sea goat. And if you can imagine the determination it takes to climb a mountain when you've got a fish tail, that's Capricorn energy. It's about ambition. It's about being focused on the goal and taking consistent steps of action to climb that mountain. And this energy coming in has caused you to be a winner. This is talking about being able to rein in your emotions when this heartbreaking energy, or if it was the energy of moving into, having this discipline of your mind. I feel that's what this is representing in both levels, because it's like discipline of your mind, discipline of not maybe using your word, being in a position where you spoke the truth, but you used your words wisely, and maybe others didn't, kind of energy, and you weren't able to speak your truth. This looks like it could be a cliff with a cloud, but it also could be shoulders, a throat, and a head here. So this energy is definitely shifting, and this is victory. So because you were able to rein in your emotions and discipline your mind, this passion for new discovery is going to bring you this fulfillment. Awesome. So the internal boundaries, like this is your identity and your self-image here. So I feel you have learned from maybe this hardship that how much to give and how much to take. And maybe in the past you didn't have a clear feeling for that. You start to recognize, hey, if I don't look after myself first, then I'm not going to be able to look after others. I won't be able to produce anymore enough to do so. And then this is regarding your abundance and your self-worth. So I feel like you feel like even though there's plenty of fish in the sea, you deserve to have the love of your life, and you're not going to settle for less. and the communication in your early life. It's an indication here that you're changing the way you communicate. And like you're changing your words. Maybe you were using harsh words on yourself, because this can represent like unconditional love. And so this is representing, possibly a death to beating yourself up, really watching how you talk to yourself. Like I said here, with the portal coming in, you're manifesting at a very high level. So make sure that the words you use are focused on what you want, not on what you don't want. And I feel like that change has really put you in this victory. And then we have the home and family life and foundation. It's like I'm getting there could have been some words with family, and maybe it happened right at Christmas yesterday or today on Boxing Day. I really found the energy yesterday to be more like Boxing Day than Boxing Day energy. It was a very different day. And sometimes that's how family gatherings are. I just found the energy to be like that. That there is kind of like this underlying Capricorn energy of, okay, let's get moving. Let's get into the new year already. That kind of energy. And we have the creativity and the romance here. So this is about being in your truth, speaking your truth, and wanting the truth. About, especially in matters of love, I'm getting. And then this is talking about changing your daily routines, your habits, and that improving your health, wealth, and happiness. That's what the Pentacles represent. And it's a victory because I feel like you've learned how to discipline your mind and speak what you want into fulfillment. As like this 111-11-11 portal suggests, like watch your words, make sure that you're speaking about all the amazing things that are coming in for you in the new year. And the external forces then, so there is some conflict here. And there has been a conflict apparently from the external forces. And again, it could be the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind not being congruent with your heart's desires. But this is external forces. So I feel like this is what will keep you up at night, saying, what if I do this? What if this happens? What if I don't do this? What if that happens? That kind of energy. But you have control over it. So this could be talking again, re-emphasizing that you took control over the external forces and are staying congruent with, disciplining your thoughts to be your heart's desires so you can have this ultimate fulfillment. And it also could be that other people perhaps were causing conflict with that. And, every time that you have a battle with other people, if you stay in your truth and you're passionate about what you really want and you don't cave, I'm not going to play small. I deserve to be focused on like this. I want my love life to be like I'm the focus of it and my partner is the focus of it. And so this energy, every time you have to have a battle like that, and it could have been, something that happened within a family gathering because we just had that energy, or having to, just being able to get where you wanted to go could have been challenging because of the weather or whatever. But this is talking about every time you have a challenge, you become a bigger, better version of yourself. You keep raising the bar. And I'm getting this is like the two swords here. I feel like you want your partner to have like similar values and thoughts as you have. Yeah, because the wounded warrior is coming out. And so this can be because this is external forces. This can be like actions that other people took, spoke, whatever. Thoughts, when you speak, that's an action. And so if your words are not meant to be productive for someone, then they can, they say, oh, words can't really hurt you. Yes, they can. They can hurt a lot. And, so this is representing someone that has been through some sort of heartbreak over some words spoken. That's the energy I'm picking up. Or some thoughts, regarding yourself kind of energy. Am I good enough? That kind of energy. but you've done the work, and because of that, you've been victorious over those thoughts. I feel like those thoughts were coming from outside of you, though, and you've had to overcome them, just because this is about the external forces. This is when you've done all your inner work and you're on your path and you feel like, okay, everything should go well now. And then all of a sudden, bang, you know, and you're like, oh, like that cycle's over. And it's kind of like this energy of external forces. So what the EF happened, external forces happened. And that's when you're like, oh, okay, you don't have control over it. All you have control over is your response or your reaction. And then we have the Knight of Cups coming in. So maybe someone came in with this cup, because we have the Page and then we have the Knight. So what could have happened is you met this person and you thought it was going really well, and then something happened. But now, this is an older version. Like the Knight of Cups is the knight in shining armor that comes in. So maybe there needed to be this can sometimes be an apology. So I'm not sure it could be for some of you, that something happened and you felt really heartbroken, and maybe you broke up or whatever, but then you were able to work through, because we have these two cards, and now this person is proposing marriage. This is a more grown-up communication than this one. This is indicating someone in the early stages of dating and then wanting to propose, like be the knight in shining armor, not the one that isn't a knight in shining armor. And this is about rowing off to calmer waters with God. So this is talking about, and again, we have these two swords here kind of energy, and the truth. So when the truth comes in, the truth will set you free. And it's kind of, okay, I'm moving off from rough waters to calm. And so this energy could have been someone that proposed to you and you were going to marry them, and then you chose not to because of something that happened outside of you that you had no control over. And it required you to really go inward and reparent yourself, basically, to change it up, how you think of yourself and what you say to yourself, that kind of energy. This pole here has to dig very deep to get the boat going so that you can move forward. And I feel like that's the energy. You had to go really deep. This was, whatever this was cutting, and it was very painful for you. And then we have the High Priestess. So using your intuition, getting neutral. It's similar to the Judgment card, but it's talking about going inward and really looking, getting to the truth through your intuition as well as your logic. The thoughts that you have are a double-edged sword. So some are intuitive and some are logical. And it's also talking kind of about the journey of, a lot of people will say, oh, I'm a human being with a soul, but actually you're a soul that's traveling in a human body. And your soul has needs as well as your, that's your unconscious mind has needs that are not the same as your conscious mind or your subconscious mind. And so if the soul isn't happy, if the soul feels like heartbroken, it's not going to bring in this fulfillment. Because on some level, even if you have all the money in the world and you have you're really doing well in that way with the physical matter, you don't feel fulfilled spiritually. And so the Knight of Wands is coming in. So the Knight of Wands represents, again, this passion for discovery. This is the Sagittarian energy from back around around the 19th, 20th, when the new moon came in. And then right after that, the solstice. So perhaps some form of truth came in, and that was the communication it's about passion and about love. And you can see this is very fiery energy. But again, this is talking about, this is having to have this passion, rein it in, and be able to stay calm. And this is representing the mysteries of the world. So I feel some sort of truth came in from external forces, and it wasn't information that you wanted to hear. Having said that, like you're the wounded warrior, and whatever those actions were, again, this energy is very Sagittarius, because the card before this is the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands is when you're launching something, and the arrows go boom, 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 like in the order that they need to. But if they're coming from external forces that have this intention, it can be really like a bunch of people, like really going after, be ganging up on a family member kind of energy. So that's the kind of energy that was coming in. And that's kind of like with that Boxing Day energy. So, it's sad, but sometimes when you're at family events, they end up like that. It's just people come together and they haven't seen each other for a year or years, and they expect you to be exactly the same as you were, but you're different now, or they're different now, and you expected them to be the same. That kind of energy. Expectations will create limitations. But this is saying that this energy was really a blessing, whatever this was, because now you have the truth and a passion for who you really are and what you really want, not just on the physical level, but also on the spiritual. And this is the happiest card in the deck. This is what you were meant to come in and be happy. And you deserve that 10th pentacle. You deserve this fulfillment. And so this may have been very painful, but the actions of others have given you the truth of who you are. It's raised your the version of you. And really, when we come onto the planet, our destiny is to be the best version of ourselves. That's our purpose, is to be the best that we can be. And this energy is a small child on the pony carrying this heavy banner with ease. This card represents happiness, and it shines happiness on the rest. I feel like, because this is the overlying energy, this is saying you will have this fulfillment that you want. And if this was a breakup, even if it's talking about a breakup with family rather than a lover or whatever, but it changed the way you think of your ultimate fulfillment, this was necessary for you to be happy, so that you would be a rebel with a cause. That you would bring in this passion for new discovery, find a new you, and find your authentic desires and really go after them now, like be determined to do so. So if there was some sort of that energy there, where you got really hurt, words can really hurt, but the energy is coming in that, hey, at the same time, this was a blessing in disguise, because it's like a rebirth. I'm just getting like moving into a totally different way. And this can represent, there was something stinky, right, in the love life, but it also can represent the focus on loving yourself too. We'll look into it a little bit more. If you're enjoying this reading, please do like and comment. It really helps me build my channel. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to be clarifying with my oracle, Tales from the Vector. It's courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I started it in 2007. It's big dragon paintings. I'm an artist, so I had a lot of fun with it. And it took me till 2020 to finish all the paintings. And there's 64 of them. And now I am gathering all this information and working online with you. I've had them out in the past at psychic fairs and at seminars, etc. But now I'm focusing on a bigger way, because I'm writing up the booklet and then plan to bring it out. I have a website, talesfromthevector.com, and I have a gallery of the paintings there. The way they're numbered on the website is how the cards are numbered here. So in the description box below, I will put them in the order that they appear here. I will list them for you. So if you want to go there, you can check it out down there, and maybe it will give you a little bit more enlightenment. Okay, so the underlying energy is the Tower. So in my oracle, the Tower is divorce. The worst divorce, though, being from source. So it could have been like, this sometimes represents that there was 3 people instead of 2 in a relationship. This can also represent that kind of energy, yeah. So there you could be, or maybe a divorce is has come through and now you're ready to move forward, that kind of energy. And then we have the underlying energy for the heartbreak is the High Priestess. So yeah, it's saying don't overthink it. And the energy is don't overthink it and use your intuition. When it comes to like matters of the heart, you have to use both, because you have to, if you have to satisfy your soul as well as your mind, and you have to discipline your mind to be able to satisfy your soul, so that you can feel like, and you can go after your authentic heart desires. So that's just reconfirming what we were talking about. So that's good energy. Whatever this is, I feel like the fulfillment is definitely on the way. And we have here, clarifying this, is the guiding star. Again, using your intuition. Are you giving too much in a relationship or taking too much in a relationship? Are you putting too much of your time, money, energy? Is it causing you health issues even? That kind of energy. And then we have destruction. Yeah. So I feel like this is just talking about some sort of energy of the stinky fish caused destruction of this relationship. And that's why, and maybe the divorce is complete, or you've decided to get divorced, which is a painful thing to do. And this card represents a potentially heartbreaking decision being made. And so that could be the energy. And it's no fun when that's right before Christmas. And this is interesting also, because this is the death. And this is 1 + 8 = 9. And one thing that's really statistically, a lot of marriages, 18 is a very challenging years to be married for a lot of people. You think, hey, if you made it for 18 years, you're probably doing really well. But a lot of times this energy of 18 can be really like this conflict, between the mind and the passion kind of energy. And quite often there's people that do marry when they become pregnant, and when the child that they conceived becomes like 18, it kind of changes the dynamic, and so that you'll see that quite a bit. And that's not because that's just the karmic nature, that's cause and effect. It's not a punishment. The child is beautiful, like that, it's not anything about that. But sometimes we have karma with the people, with our ancestors and our descendants. And the karma is like, you need to clear this up for the family. Like you need to, stop a cycle of energy, of the way your family does things. So when you do that, it actually cleans up the energy, not just for you, but for your descendants, and also for your ancestors that have even crossed over on the other side. And denial. So this energy is what I don't know won't hurt me. Well, yeah, it will, because eventually the truth's going to come out. So it's you might have been in denial, you might have seen signs of it or whatever, and you just didn't want to know. But then the truth came in, and now you know. Like what you suspected, now you know. You might have been suspicious, now you know. And the Cancer coming in is about that feeling again that I was talking about. Like you feel, your soul feels, your mind thinks. And when you put those together, then you can really come to a strong resolution for, to go after your authentic desires and feed your soul as well as, feeding your mind. And we do have a full moon, and this has been coming up a lot, this moon. It's a full moon in Cancer, and it's in on the 3rd of January. So it's going to be right after this energy here of this ending of the cycle, moving into this new cycle. And then Cancer is ruled by the moon, and Cancer is the most emotional sign of all. You think about young adolescent girls that break up with their boyfriends, and they're just starting their cycle, and they're up and down and up and down. It's like a roller coaster, and that might represent a lot of people will be feeling that energy very intensely. And if you happen, like you're Capricorn, and the energy is exactly Cancer is exactly opposite of you on the wheel of the horoscope. So it's going to affect you really very much also. and it's going to affect the water, all the water signs as well. So just be in a state of understanding. If you start all of a sudden feeling really emotional at New Year's, because we generally do feel the full moon and the new moon about 3 days before, and for about 3 days after that it actually appears. So just be aware of that. If all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I need to rein in my emotions, it's because of this energy is escalating it. So if you're already feeling emotional, it's going to compound that. We have the Lovers coming in. So this is just clarifying again, that it was something to do with your love life and between lovers, and that's what you're dealing with. And it also can be, the Lovers is about choices we make. So it can sometimes represent your masculine and your feminine energy coming together in a very strong way, because you've learned this lesson about how much to give, how much to take, how much to receive, that kind of energy. And then how much to pay for it. That's the masculine. And then we have the Sun coming in. Yeah, after this very challenging emotional time, you're going to feel, well, this actually, no, because this came from the top. So this is talking about the Sun again. This is God stepping in with these divine gifts for your well-being and for your soul's well-being. And they're right across from each other here. You notice that? So this is where the external forces begins, and this is where the external forces end. I feel like there's just going to be a whole new way that that's going to be for you. You may even find that you really are learning how what was causing, maybe if you've had heartbreak in your love life, and you're now starting to understand yourself so well that you understand, oh, that's why it failed, and now you're going to attract a different type, a different kind of person that you would know. Maybe it'll be someone very different from who you would date. And the underlying energy defining this energy here is Gemini. So that's the full moon. It's saying that again. That was the full moon that we had back on the 19th. Or sorry, the full moon on the 4th of December. So it's kind of talking about, and 3 + 1 = 4. I'm just getting it saying that look back to December 4th and see how, that affected you, because Gemini is right before Cancer. And just kind of, if you can remember what happened on the 4th of December, that might give you some insight to this full moon that's coming in Cancer. Totally opposite from Capricorn, and we're in Capricorn energy. That's why the Cancer energy is all feeling and intuitive, and like just, think about a young adolescent girl whose boyfriend just broke up with her, that kind of energy. And then, the Capricorn energy, the goat is out there climbing the mountain and is already looking for, new love, that kind of energy. And, that's just the difference. Like those two are going to clash a little bit for a few days there. And so this is talking about, like, if you are in a place where you felt degraded by something that your lover did, or even what you did, just recognize that, if it wasn't you that did it, and you've done all this work, regardless, like, I feel like it was something that happened, but the truth will set you free. So I feel like both parties have maybe learned from something from it and can move forward in a better way, and that's the whole point, is becoming a better version of yourself. The need to be right. So like this card right here represents commitment, marriage, and partnerships. So it's, like, does that person look happy? But the sun's sitting on it, right? And then this is about a transformation and a death of the old ways. And this is shared resources and secrets coming out. So that, it's right in that place. And then and it's about love, right? It's about the knight in shine. The person you thought was a knight in shining armor wasn't. And then we have the here, your higher learning, like rowing off to calmer waters with God, learning how to meditate a little bit and pray and then come into like getting the answers from your intuition, which we have, where did we have that? Right here. You know, changing, like, so that you're not always giving more than you should or taking more than you should, depending on which side of the occasion you were on. And then we have dissension. So I feel like, you know, as there is quite the external forces were really hard on you. So this is talking about your public image. I feel like maybe you really resonated, if it was a divorce, you really, really, your self-identity was someone that was like in this energy, you know, and now you feel kind of like your friends are talking about you, and maybe some of them knew and didn't tell you. This is about swimming with sharks, and the good news is, like, it's quite highly unlikely that you are probably going to get attacked by a shark unless you live, you know, somewhere and you go in the water and you look out for a shark. But a human shark, there's lots of them out there. And so the dissension is just, you know, conquers, it's divide and conquer energy. And so it's kind of talking about, there was a lot of gossip and words spoken, and they were by people that you didn't expect that from. You thought you would have more understanding. And then, yeah, your pride was really hurt. That's, you know, and for some people, like, this is right on the rebel with the cause. So for some people, they'll lose their shift, you know, if they feel like their pride and everything, you know, and everything they thought was, like, they'll react. This is someone who's very hot-headed. Luckily, it's sitting here and it's talking about someone that has learned to rein in their emotions, you know, as well. So that's good. That's really good energy. We learn from our mistakes, and we can learn from others too. We don't have to learn the hard way all the time. That's what that's saying. And look at this. Now, the Fool, which represents the new cycle. You're on a totally new cycle, and you're foolhardy. So, like, this, learning this has caused you to now be in a place where in this new cycle, it's going to be really happy for you. You're going to find the fulfillment that was destined for you, and you can anticipate the journey. And now that you understand yourself better, and you understand why your love life why it went wrong, and I feel like on some level, because this is sitting on this is your spiritual house, and I feel like, you know, your soul wasn't being fed by what you were doing, and you know, in the relationship, as well as probably your other areas of life. So this is really, really good advice. Thank you, Capricorn. It's really good advice for all of us to take, and we all do have a little bit of Capricorn in us. If you come across this reading, you know, in the future, look back on this date that it came out, Boxing Day, and it might give you some insight as to what's happening for you now. All right. Please do like and comment if you've enjoyed this. Consider subscribing if you resonate with the channel. It would be an honor for me if you did so. I will be back with another timely reading for you tomorrow. All right, Stella, you have to wake up.